Dutch tags will play very differently in EU5, and that's because of a new disaster that has been added to the game. This disaster will be a major challenge for the Dutch involved in it in the early game. The disaster we are talking about for many tags in the Benelux region, like Holland, is the hook and cod wars. Long before you can form the Netherlands in EU5, you'll need to survive and come out on top in this conflict. But what is this disaster all about? The hook and cod wars were a century-long power struggle in medieval Holland. The cods, backed by the merchants and cities, clashed with the hooks, who were supported by the old feudal nobility. Essentially, it was a fight for who would be the dominant force in shaping Holland's future, the rising middle class or the fading feudal elite. In EU5, this disaster plays out as a power struggle between the burghers and the nobles. To end it, one of the factions has to reach 20 influence and become the winner. How do you gain influence for one faction in the game? You gain influence by picking sides in events that trigger each month while the disaster is active. If you support the hooks, you'll boost the nobles and weaken the merchants, and if you go with the cods, the opposite happens. While the disaster is ongoing, you get hit with some heavy penalties: negative 20% crown power, plus 2% monthly rebel growth, and the negative 2.5% estate satisfaction equilibrium. Those are the debuffs that make the early game tougher for Holland and the tags involved in the disaster. But honestly, that could make the region even more interesting to play. The Benelux region has always been one of my favorite regions in Paradox games, such as EU4 and Hearts of Iron 4. And in EU5, I plan to build a global trade empire playing as the Netherlands. So having this kind of internal struggle early on could actually make it even more fun. Since one faction needs to reach 20 influence for the disaster to end, it looks like it'll take a while to resolve, as it did historically. Once the game's out, I'll test which faction works best for a Dutch trade empire. Considering the cods represent traders and merchants, they'll probably be the pick I'll go with first try. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe so you won't miss the future EU5 videos that are on the way.